Alec, Peirce, Scuba. Hi guys, Alec, Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips once again. Now I'm going to deal with a very short video on air integrated computers. Now I think most recreational divers, most modern divers at least, have decided that a computer is a good thing. And that's good. The computer is a good thing. First of all, it's deadly accurate. It never forgets anything, and it does a lot of things that you can't do with your tables. I know you old guys, and I always get a kick out of that. I started diving in 1958, 61 years ago. So when I say old guys, I always sort of chuckle inside. A lot of you old guys, you say, I'm going to keep my dive tables. I like the dive tables. My instructor used those, and his great-grandfather used those. The next step, if you like, in the development of computers is the air-integrated computer. Air-integrated. Now, there are some misconceptions about an air-integrated computer. Okay, so here's our standard old computer: depth time, surface interval, depth time, upside down, thank you Kevin, depth time, second dive, air, surface interval, depth time, and 10 dives a day. I think they're limited to 9 dives a day, but whatever, you just keep on diving. The computer will tell you when it's time to stop diving. Perfect. The next step is to air integrated. Now, what's the difference? Well, simply, as the name implies, an air integrated computer does all your depth and time calculations, all your no decompression, your residuals and all that. Does all those calculations just like a standard computer, wrist computer, but it also does your air consumption. Air consumption. And that's one of the misconceptions. A lot of people think that an air integrated computer just measures air pressure. Well, it does do that. Of course it does. That's what it's for. But its real value is in air consumption. Let me explain what I mean. This tells you everything that you need to know with respect to depth and time and no decompression. So if you look at this computer and you've been down for whatever length of time and the computer says you have 20 minutes remaining. Okay, that's good. 20 minutes remaining. Good, I can stay down for a while. And then you look at your SPG, because a lot of you folks are still using SPGs, and some of you I know are going to stick with my SPG forever. And so that's fine. You look at your SPG, and the SPG says you're out of air. What the hell good was this? This says you have 20 minutes. You don't have 20 minutes. This computer lied to you. No, it didn't. You have 20 minutes based on your depth time calculations, but you're out of air, dive's over. You see? Get an air integrated computer, and here's what you get. This is just one example. There are lots and lots of different examples. Mounted on a hole, just replaces your SPG. And this particular model, just some of the features that you might want. This particular model detaches. You can get them detachable. Yeah, so you can take this with you on the airplane. You can take this with you on the dive boat. You can make adjustments and so on and changes and read what your dive log, because it logs the dives and everything else. Standard computers log the dives too, but so do these. So you can actually take this off the hose, and then before your next dive, you put it back on. This particular model is kind of nice because it actually locks on there. You're not going to lose one of these hose-mounted dive computers. Not very likely, although I know it has happened to a couple of our divers. They pop off and it's lost. But the little lock is nice. But this is essentially what it looks like. There are different formats. It'll have some buttons on the front or on the side, and it'll have a screen. Now, this particular one is quite nice. Okay, this is not a $300 model. It's quite nice because you see it's in color. Oh, that's kind of nice. If you want to have color, have color. This is an LED, not an LCD. Okay, so anyway, so here you are with your dive computer, and this is air integrated. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is that there's a hose coming from your first stage, which is connected to the tank pressure. So that this computer, when you look at it, it'll show you your tank pressure, 3,000 psi. That's good, right? Off you go, you jump in the water. Now this computer is all the same calculations, depth, time, all that kind of stuff, residual dive, 9 dives a day, it keeps track of it all, logs the whole darn thing. But at the same time, it's measuring your air consumption. How does it do that? Well, it's very simple. It knows the pressure, and it sees the pressure dropping. It can see the pressure drop. So as you go through the dive, it sees it dropping. So it knows that every minute you use whatever, 200 or 300 psi, so that's your air consumption. Air consumption is how much air are you using. And it sees it dropping. And it knows how quickly it's dropping, so it can very easily calculate how long it will last. You see? So the depth time calculations, as with this computer, will say, for instance, that you have 20 minutes remaining. The air consumption portion of an air integrated computer will tell you that you have 15 minutes remaining. You see? So you have both on there. And you don't do any calculations. If you look at your SPG and you're at 60 feet and your SPG says you have 1800 psi, how much longer will that last? Exactly. You can figure it out pretty closely, but you're not sure. And meanwhile, you're down there trying to figure it out instead of enjoying the dive the way you should be. With an air-integrated computer, it will tell you how much longer it'll last. So in this particular scenario, your depth time says you have 20 minutes. The air remaining, dive time remaining based on your air consumption says 15 minutes. So which do you choose? Well, obviously you choose the short one to 15 minutes. In actual fact, with an air-integrated computer, most models anyway, it'll only show one number. It won't show the 20 and the 15. It'll only show one number, the lowest, of course. So in this computer, unlike this computer, when I look at it and it says 20 minutes remaining, I have 20 minutes remaining. At 20 minutes, I will be at my depth time limit based on no decompression diving, or I'll be out of air, one or the other. Now, it doesn't really matter which it is, does it? All that matters is that 20-minute figure. In 20 minutes, you need to be at the surface. Simple. Technically, okay, you could take a piece of black tape, cover the face of this, cut a little hole where that number, dive time remaining, shows. You see? Jump in the water. What do you care how deep you are? Well, within reason. And what do you care how long? What do you care what the tank pressure is? You only care about one thing, right? You only care about getting back to the surface safely. Dive time remaining, 20 minutes. You got to be at the surface in 20 minutes. 8 minutes. 2 minutes. You better get close. 1 minute. You better be close to the surface. It's just that simple. That's all you really need. Now, the other information is actually useful. It's good to know which dive you're on and how long you've been down there. And can we go? So here it shows I'm at 0 feet right now. You see how accurate it is? Because I'm at 0 feet. It shows 0 feet. Anyway, and it shows no air. That's exactly right because I haven't even turned the tank on. So there you see it right. Can you see that, Kev? So and there's nice, bright, colorful figures. Most of these computers are LCDs. It doesn't show you the nice, bright colors. Well, you can see on this particular computer, you can actually see that it shows 0 feet and 0 psi. Now, turn the tank on, right, and jump in the water. Those numbers change. That's the way it works. And off you go. So the beauty is not only do you get the benefit of a computer, which allows you to dive essentially without concern, because it calculates everything. But it also calculates your air consumption. It gives you a final figure as to how much longer you can stay down in that dive safely. Now, there are other benefits as well. If you are diving at 60 or 70 or 80 feet and it says that you have 20 minutes remaining, you can come up. Yeah, come up to 40 feet. And that'll say, oh, you had 20, now you got 30. You can't do that. Not instantly anyway. Not with your dive tables and your SPG. It would take you a long time to calculate that. So you can actually modify your dive based on what the computer tells you to get more enjoyment. More enjoyment. Isn't that the name of the game? That's what we're doing this for, right? Similarly, even a basic computer gives you more enjoyment because you know very, very well that if you have dive tables that says if you go to 100 feet, you got 20 minutes. You go to 100 feet, you got 20 minutes. You start coming up. Technically, in theory, and actually in practice, as you start coming up, that time should increase, but it's hard to calculate that. Even with a fantastic, infamous PADI wheel, it's very difficult to, you got that, did you? It's very difficult to calculate the advantage within your body to ascending. It doesn't give you that in a dive table. Computer does. So if you're at 60 feet, it'll tell you that you have so much time left at that depth. If you come up to 40 feet, it'll tell you, now you got a lot more time left. You can't do that with dive. Very, very difficult anyway. So there's a lot of advantages. And all the advantages boil down to one thing. It's more accurate, and it gives you more safe time while scuba diving. Can't go wrong. It never misses a dive. You jump in, it turns on automatically. Just read about it. Think about it a little bit. Now, I'm not trying to sell air-integrated computers. I am just explaining to you the advantages of some of the modern scuba equipment. I think this is fantastic. When I started diving, I had a 14-inch knife. 12 inches was the norm. But real professional divers had 14-inch knives. I had to have a 14-inch knife. And I had a regulator, that is a first stage and a second stage. I have pictures of me in 1965 diving, first and second stage. No SPG, no safe second, no buoyancy compensator. We wouldn't wear buoyancy compensator. Only sissies wore them. And that's the way it was. Today, diving is so easy, so much fun, so safe. I almost wish I hadn't started so long ago. Anyway, there you go, guys. Is an air integrated computer for you? Basically, I say, yeah, if you've got the resources and they're becoming less and less expensive all the time, then get yourself an air integrated computer. I think you use it a few times, you'll be saying, boy, oh boy, I should have done this years ago. Is that Alec Peirce guy ever smart? You don't have to say that. That's entirely up to you. Anyway, there you go. Air integrated computers, are they for you? Gosh, I would say yeah. Take care. Talk to you soon. Alec Peirce, Tech Tips.